Welcome. Today's class is all about Pilates for back problems. So there's a big variety of problems, back problems. Some are genetic, some are muscular, all sorts of things. So today's class is going to be just about loosening the muscles that surround the lower back and also a little bit of strengthening for the back. So for equipment, I'm going to have a block and a cushion. You don't need to have these. You can have a towel. I always say a big towel that you can fold up will work just as well. And I'm going to have a band. So I'm a big advocate of using equipment in terms of sometimes equipment can take some effort out of it so that you can really relax into some movements. It can also try and help you prevent using incorrect muscles, if that makes sense. So the first thing we're going to do is just start to loosen the back with half roll backs. So this is a purple band. It's a medium-ish strength, but it doesn't matter if you've got a looser one, or you can use a towel. And we're going to come into a seated position and have the band over your feet. Now, if you don't have a band, you can also hold the back of your legs and use it that way. So you don't need to have a band. You can hold the back of the legs. So the first thing is to sit up nice and tall. Now, I know for some people, even this is a challenge. So see how that feels in your hips? You can also take the feet a little bit wider. So if you need to have your feet mat width, you can also have your feet mat width. I'm not one of these teachers that has to say your feet must be here and they must be there. That doesn't work for everybody's body. Providing you can sit up tall, that's what I'm after. So relax your shoulders down the back. And the first thing I want you to do is lengthen your rib cage off of your hips, or lift your rib cage off of your hips. So I want you to try and get your rib cage higher towards the ceiling, but without the head going back, and then relax your shoulders down. Okay, so just hold that position. Take another breath in. And now from here, you're going to hug your tummy in. Get your belly button to push the pelvis off the sitting bones. Roll back towards the coccyx and roll back towards that hard, chunky part just above the coccyx called your SI joint. Now, relax your arms. So just check if your elbows and everything's working there. So just relax so that your shoulders can relax down the back. So hug your tummy in. Now imagine your belly button is trying to push your back to the floor, but obviously we're not going all the way back. We're just going to hold that there. Now breathe into your back and then bring yourself back up. Grow nice and tall and then relax the shoulders down the back. So we're just going to do a few more of these. This is one of my favorite ones, just to loosen off. So inhale and exhale. So again, you don't need a band. You can be holding the back of the legs. Keep pulling in the belly button. So I want you to imagine you're actually trying to get your rib cage and your hip bones to touch each other. So really suck that tummy in. And then, doesn't matter if you inhale or exhale with this, do whatever your body naturally wants you to do as you come back up. Now, once you come up, remember to send those shoulders down the back again. So breathe in, exhale, tucking in that tailbone and rolling back. So for me, the exhale going back is important. What you come up with is not that important because it's very hard to breathe in when you're going back. So relaxing your arms, your neck, just focus on hugging in that belly. Paul, when he's teaching my husband, he always says, imagine someone's trying to take a photo of you and you're trying to look a bit slimmer. And then bring yourself back up again. And I'm actually going to do one more of these because it's feeling so nice. So breathe in. On the exhale, tuck the tailbone under, come off the sitting bones. So making sure that the muscles are doing this and you're not just holding back. You can see how my belly popped out there. Can you see? Versus really drawing in. Then I know the abdominals are doing the work. Just having that nice little stretch there. And then bring yourself back up again and grow nice and tall. Good. So take the band away. Oh, itchy nose. Does that mean I'm going to have a fight with someone? We're going to come into front lying. And with this part, we're going to do what's called a star, but I'm not going to be doing the arms today. I'm only going to be doing the legs so that we're focusing more on the mid-lower part of the body. So you can have your hands under your head there. You can have a cushion or a towel. And you want your legs wide and in what's called a turn out. So if you think of your kneecaps, they want to be pointing outwards, but not just the knee. You want to actually get that to come from your hip. So think of rolling your thigh bones out. So I'm actually going to put a block under my head just because of the microphone, and then my hands, just so I don't muffle the microphone. So have the legs wide and in turn out. Your hands are under your head, and just relax for a moment. So just give your bum a little wiggle just to switch off all those muscles and release any tension that you might have in your lower back and your hips. And then just relax there. So I want you to draw your tummy away from the mat. Send your pubic bone into the floor. And for the first part, all I want you to do is try and reach your left leg away. So think of reaching out of the hip. And it's not about lifting the leg, you want to slide it away. So it's going to be light on the floor, but you're just trying to slide it away. And then release. Give everything a little shake. And then tummy pulls in, pubic bone imprints, and now reach your right leg away. And I want you to see, while you're reaching the right leg away, can you relax your left bum cheek? So while you reach the right leg away, can you relax the left bum cheek? So you might even need to give it a little fondle. And then come back. Now we're going to do both legs. So tummy pulls in. So think of pulling your belly button away from the mat. Send your pubic bone down. Now I want you to squeeze your tushy and try and slide both legs away. Relax your neck, your head, your shoulders. So drawing in and reaching. And then just see if you can lift your thigh bones a tiny bit off the floor. So my toes are still touching. I have got big feet. And then relax. And then give it a little wiggle. And we're just going to do one more. So we're getting into these tissues over here that help support the back. And also, when you activate the back of the legs, it's making the front of the body relax. And there is a correlation, it's a big word for me, between your hips and your back. So we're just going to do one more. So remember, when we contract the back, we relax the front. So tummy pulls in, pubic bone engages. Squeeze your bum cheeks. Now I want you to try and reach the legs away and just lift them slightly. It's not about doing that. I just want you to keep the legs low, but reach away. Trying to relax your neck, your head, your shoulders. And then relax down. Good. So bringing the legs back closer together. If you want to have a little child pose, so you can either have a child pose, or if you want to do a cat-cow. If you've got any issues with your knees, you can always come onto your back and give your knees a hug. But we're going to go on to the next exercise. Right. So with this one, we'll have the legs closer together. And we're going to be focusing on the whole posterior back. So upper back, middle back, lower back, and bum cheeks. So for this one, I'm not going to have a block. And your hands will be down to the side of you. Actually, I might just, for the purpose of the microphone. Now, if you've got big boobies, you'll also want to have a block or cushion under your head so that your neck is straight. So for people with big boobs, if you don't have, you can imagine I had big boobs. If you don't and your head's like that, can you see the angle of the neck? So just having a block or cushion under the head just helps that neck to be in a straight line if you've got big boobs. Like I said, I haven't, but I just want to, so I can talk in the microphone. Right, so tummy pulls in, imprint your pubic bone, and then reach your legs away. So just engage the legs. So think of your thighs working, your knees, your calves. Now squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the hands, palms facing in, and then lift the head. So I'm not coming off of the chest. Keep the chest down, But think of length. So the crown of the head is reaching forward. My toes are reaching to the wall behind. Now, if you want to lift the legs a little bit, you can. But this is not about that big, horrible movement for the lower back. Okay? And then release down. Give everything a little shake. So tummy pulls in. Pubic bone imprints. Engage your legs. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Really important for us as we get older. Lift the hands, float the head up. Now that might be enough for you. I can feel that all working down there. If you want to go a little further, just float the legs so that your thighs are just starting to lift off of the floor. And then reach those shoulder blades away from your ears like you're trying to touch your heels with your feet. So again, my chest is staying down. This is not about how high can you go. And then relax down. Give everything a little shake. We're just going to do one more. And I know it's quite challenging to breathe when you're on the front. So let's do one more. So tummy pulls in. Pubic bone imprints. Engage the legs. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the head. Lift the hands. So hands are reaching down towards your feet. Chest is staying down, but I'm squeezing the body up, and then maybe just lift the legs if you want to go a little further. Now, for those of you that like a bit of a challenge, try and keep the feet together. So reaching and reaching, I'm trying to lengthen. The head's reaching to one end of the room. My toes are reaching to the other end of the room. So I'm not trying to lift. I don't want to be a banana. This is called a dart. And then relax down. Good. So coming back into a child pose or a little cat-cow. My mat's got little squares on. They make my eyes go a bit funny. Do you remember those 3D pictures that you had to like... It's a bit like that. Right, so we've got one more front lying. I know it's quite intense on the back. So this is called a swan. This is going to be focusing more on lower back mobility. So we're going to take the pressure off of the hips by having those legs wide again. And to start with, have your arms quite forward. It's a big temptation to do these huge movements because of, you know, what you see on Instagram and stuff. But we really want to keep our spine safe. So have your arms more forward. So you can see where my elbows are. They're a bit more forward than my shoulders. And then have those legs in that little turnout position. Forehead is on the floor. So tummy pulls in. Pubic bone engages and engage the legs. Now all you're going to do is lift your head and your chest and hold it there. So at this point I've got no weight in the hands. And then relax down and give it a little shake. So let's do one more like that. Tummy pulls in, pubic bone engages, and engage the legs. So it's not about lifting the legs, I'm just getting my legs active. It means the bum's active and it's supporting the back. Lifting the chest and the head, no hands. Holding it there, keep gazing down. If you've got funny squares on your mat like I have, you might need to close your eyes. And then relax. Give it all a little shake. And then tummy pulls in, pubic bone pushes down, engage your legs. Lifting the chest and the head first with no arms. Now all I want you to do is just push into the hands slightly. Relax your shoulders down the back and see if your belly button is on the floor. So I know you've probably seen lots of things where people are up there. That is getting into the lumbar back, which many people don't need. So what I want you to focus on, the hands forward is going to reduce the movement. Belly button on the floor is as much extension as most people need. Now what I want you to do is focus on your tailbone. So rather than letting your tailbone lift, I'm going to exaggerate it, coming into that shape. Can you push your pubic bone down so when you come up, maybe you feel a bit more space in that lower back. Like it doesn't feel like you're crushing your spine. And then release down. Shake it all off. Tummy pulls in, pubic bone imprints, lifting the chest and the head first. Then as you push into the hand, you almost want to over-exaggerate, trying to send that tailbone down as you push up. I've got a cramp in my right leg. Your head is just nice and relaxed, so you're not looking up, you're not looking down, just kind of gazing, letting that neck be in a straight line with the rest of the spine. Now, if you feel like there's a bit more space, then maybe you can bring the hands a little lower, but be mindful that we're not coming in up too high. I'm a big advocate for just, if you're feeling it, that's enough. Good. And then bring it back down. So bring the hands under the shoulders. We're going to take a child pose. So again, if child pose is not suitable for you, you come onto your back and then give your knees a hug. It's the same movement, just from a different angle. Good. So we're going to do a movement called 3-in-1. I don't know if Paul made this up or if you found it online somewhere. So we're going to start on all fours. We're not going to be there long. So even I've got clients with knee replacements, they can all do this. Just add some padding under the knee a little bit. So all fours, keep the tummy pulled in, push the hands away from the floor away from you so your back is nice and straight. So from here, you're going to round your back into a cat first. Then take your bum to your heels. Have a nice stretch there. Come back to a straight back, and now I like to take my hands a little bit more forward for this. The most important part with this is that you squeeze your bum like crazy and then push the floor away and then pull the shoulders back. So depending on your spine mobility, some people might be able to drop, some people might be there. And then push, and then breathe in, and I hug the tummy in. And then, like I said, I have to move my hands for this. Round in the back. Taking it into there. Straight back. Like I said, just let your hands move. Squeeze the bum, lift the heart. So we're just going to speed that up. So rounding the back as you take it into child. Straightening the back as you come into extension. Round in the back, tuck in the head as you come into child. Straighten in the back. Like I said, all of my clients can do this movement, albeit at different degrees. Good. And then you can bring yourself into a seated position. So often when people hurt their back, they don't want to move. Just gentle stretching. Like the star is a very gentle movement. It's not a big movement, but it can help to strengthen. So we need to keep that back moving even when you are in pain. So I will tag some more spine videos for you. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe, as it does help the channel to grow. So much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.